I've been in a relationship with Kat, a female 26, for a little over 2 years. I am extremely satisfied with the relationship. She is just what I didn't know I needed. Small arguments here and there, but the kind that gets sorted with a talk or 2 hours after, once we both cool down a bit. She really liked a photo montage I did of our vacations, so I was thinking of doing one from since she was born until the first photo we take when she moves in with me in February, when her lease will end. For that, I needed old photos of her, so I asked her, saying it was for a project. She gave me an external hard drive, said the folder marked memories would be filled with all her photos, but they would be out of order and that there would be photos with her ex-boyfriend from a summer trip they did overseas that she kept for the memories of the trip itself. Yesterday, I sat down to start checking the photos. There are a lot of them and they're all out of specific order, so I was just picking at random. As I was scrolling down, I saw a folder in the middle of the images with a weird name. It had a few brackets and random numbers with letters but showed it had content in it. I opened it. There were 2 images and 1 video. The images were a screenshot of some shoes on a shopping app and a selfie with a thumb covering half of the lens. Then I got to the video, short, 53 seconds. The first 7 or 8 seconds is someone fumbling with what I expect to be a phone. Then the camera moves down and it is Kat, naked. With the movements and sounds, it's obvious that this is her having sex with someone. To be clear, this is not proof of cheating. She has a back tattoo to which she's been adding through the years. On the video, it's less complete than when I met her, and her hair is very short. Checking by other photos, I would say she was either 18 or 19 years old at the time. Now, we both know that neither of us was a virgin when we met. Still, it's a little bit unsettling to me to get the knowledge imprinted on my brain with visual aids. Of course, she's not doing anything wrong here, but there are 3 things running wild in my mind. First, she was wearing what I can only describe as crotchless panties with a bunny tail to the side. At one point, I could see what looked like a small whip similar to what the jockeys use. She never showed any inclination for this kind of thing with me, but what is really bothering me is that at one point, I can see that her right wrist has a handcuff, the kind with fluffy pink hair around it, with the other handcuff open at the side. This is bothering me because she absolutely hates to be held in any way by her wrists. The first time I did it during sex, she literally tensed and froze on the spot to the point that I stopped what I was doing to check on her. She told me to never do it again. I actually told her to give me a safe word that night so that if I ever did something that she wasn't comfortable with, she could just say the word and I'd stop. Fortunately, I never had to use it to this day. Now, my mind is trying to make sense of it, and I'm getting concerned that she doesn't trust me for some reason, at least not to the point that she seems to have trusted this guy. Second, the existence of the video itself is puzzling. She loves taking photos but nothing overly sexual, just some sexy outfits, but even those aren't what I would call too much skin. She's actually pretty flirty and sometimes inappropriate when texting or speaking over the phone, but she told me once to forget any nudes or videos. She won't send them nor let me take them. I'd rather see everything live, and now I see a video. Third, and what is bothering the most, I'm almost 100% sure the guy is a friend of hers, Mark, male 26. At the end of the video, when he goes to shut the recording, he pointed the camera to his wrist. There is a tattoo there that is the same as Mark's. I highly doubt she met 2 guys with the same tattoo in the same place, and they've been friends since the first year of college, so it matches the time frame. This is not something that I'm going to say, oh, they're BFFs. They're always together. They spend time alone in their apartments, but they see each other maybe once a month when their group gathers for dinner or drinks. I actually go with her more often than not. I've been going crazy trying to replay their interactions, looking for any signs that I may have missed of something other than friendship, but honestly, I'm coming up empty. He also has a girlfriend, and he looks at her the same way I look at mine. I don't expect Kat to tell me every hookup and relationship she had in the past, but with someone she sees with some regularity, I would expect a heads-up of some sort, especially because it seems more than just a casual thing, looking at all the setup. This is driving me mad. My actual brain knows that she's done nothing wrong, and that I'm probably overreacting, but my body stress response right now is through the roof. I know that I'll need to speak with her tomorrow before I let this pent up more already. I've had a bad night's sleep tonight, and I don't expect it to be better. I'm concerned that having this conversation without a clear mind may actually cause issues that I really don't want to have. And honestly, I'm a bit scared to go deeper into this rabbit hole. Jesus, what a rant this has become. Sorry for the wall of text. It seems I had more to vent than I thought. How do I approach this conversation tomorrow? Edit now, maybe my English isn't as good as I'd hoped because I honestly do not understand the amount of people with the idea that I want to do BDSM with my girlfriend and that I'm salty about her doing it with someone else. I never did it. It's not something I can see enjoying, so I would only do it to an extent. If I was asked, my issue is, if she's interested in this, why hasn't she approached the subject in a 2-year relationship? It doesn't help the matter that this doesn't seem to be an ex but one of her friends. Which either is, in fact, an ex, and she hid that from me when we talked about past relationships in the beginning of our own, or had a friends with benefits situation or whatever else happened there. It's not having context to the video that is causing my mind to spin, and that's why I need to speak with her before the dam bursts. That's why I reached out for advice to at least not make this crap worse than it already is. No, I didn't go through her phone to get pictures. I asked her for pictures, and she gave me an external hard drive and told me in which folder to get them. The hard drive had other folders, but I didn't open them. The video was inside a strangely named folder inside the Memories folder. I'm talking to her tonight after she comes back from work. She already knows something is not right. I couldn't sleep yesterday, and she came back to see why I wasn't in bed that late. This morning, she checked on me. You're not yourself the last 2 days. Is there something going on? I just told her that I'm feeling stressed without an apparent reason and not to worry. There's no point in a conversation before she leaves for work. I can't say that I'll update this today after we talk, as I don't think I'll have the mind for that, but I guess I'll eventually say something. For now, I'm going offline. Yeah, I can imagine this would play with your mind a little bit. But it seems like this happened during their college years, and they probably did have a friends with benefits thing going on. It's just not as serious to them as it may be for you. I think the fact that the girlfriend and this guy see each other fairly regularly is probably a place where she could be better at telling you about their history. I think you just need to take some deep breaths and talk about it. Something like this is not worth blowing your whole relationship up over. One comment says it's normal for it to feel bad when finding evidence of your partner's sex life before you, even if they didn't do anything wrong. Even if you knew it had happened, nobody wants to actually see that or think about it any more than necessary. Don't beat yourself up about feeling bad about it. Only she can tell you why she did those things with him but not with you. But from the little explanation you gave, I'd say it's most likely either she tried it with him and hated it, or had a terrible experience and never wants to do it again, or B, she never wanted to try it but convinced herself, or had someone convince her. She had to do it for him, but she didn't want to, or had a bad experience. Either way, it's much more likely that she actually trusts you not to push her boundaries and less likely that she doesn't trust you enough to let you grab her wrists. The worst thing you can do now is overthink this. She gave you the drive you stumbled across. Crap happens. You should be able to talk to her about this. You can ask who the guy is, you can ask about the kink stuff, you can ask. She should be able to have a mature, if extremely awkward, conversation about it. Depending on the situation, she may not want to answer all the questions, but you should be able to have enough of a conversation to quiet your concerns a bit. Honestly, I've had super uncomfortable conversations with my partners about things I've heard or seen or thought that have made me insecure. They suck, they're awkward, but they're important. Whether or not she can have a conversation with you about that is way more important than the actual circumstances of that video. Bonus point: 4 people change as they get older, and that includes taste and sex. Not everyone who wears rich skinny jeans at 18 will want to wear them at 26. It's normal for people to experiment with things or even enjoy things when they're younger that they want nothing to do with as they get older. The most likely reality is that it has nothing at all to do with you. Good luck, keep your chin up. Remember, she doesn't have to be with you. And if she's regularly banging you, it's because she wants to. Don't get in your head. Yeah, great comment. Not much more needs to be said, really. Okay, on to an update. Some people had asked for an update, so I guess this will be it. I'd like to thank all the people that gave actual advice on what I asked in my post instead of judging me for whatever reason they found worthy of judgment. The advice of listening to her instead of turning the conversation into an interrogation was pointed out to me by several people. This prevented me from actually complicating their talk. I'm not going to pretend that it's all roses and sunshine. There's some trust that needs to be rebuilt, and I still need to process the image of that video. It's still fresh. So my brain keeps pushing it forward. But I feel that I just need some time to let my brain shake it off. The original post was long, so this update might be a bit as well. She read this before I posted, so all I've written was with her consent. I got a call from an old friend of mine to check up on me because my girlfriend had called him worried about my behavior over the last 2 days. When I said that it was something I would need to talk to her about, he replied, "That's fine. Just remember that Kat is not Mary, an ex of mine. Don't bring that baggage with you. If you have an issue, talk it out, but don't put on your girlfriend someone else's blame." It was like a light switch that flipped. I've been so freaked out that I didn't even realize that a lot of what I was feeling was past trauma being brought up front and boosting my reactions. Essentially, I was afraid of going through something similar again. When she got home, she was already wanting to speak with me. I told her that if she wanted to take a shower, I would make some tea, and we would talk. I told her that I loved her. I wasn't accusing her of anything or mad at her. I was going through something, and she was the only one I could speak to who could help me move past it. I needed her to be honest and not try to hide things from me. Once she agreed, I asked, "When you gave me the external hard drive for me to get those photos, were you aware that there is a video in there of you and someone I think is Mark having sex?" She said, "That is not possible. I deleted that years ago." That's when she broke down in tears. She hugged me, and I hugged her back by instinct. Mostly, in between the sobbing and crying, she begged me not to get mad and to let her explain. I repeated that I wasn't mad. I would hear what she wanted to say. She just needed to be honest with me. When she calmed down, she told me that it happened around 3 weeks after her 19th birthday. She had broken up with her high school boyfriend about 2 months prior. They were both pretty drunk, hanging out at her apartment living room after a night out, and things just escalated into physical contact. She said that the next morning, they both felt extremely self-conscious about the whole thing. Mark was really freaked out that she might think he'd taken advantage of her because she had a recent breakup. She was concerned that Mark had feelings for her because she only saw him as a friend. They ended up agreeing that it was a drunken hookup that none of them wanted to follow up on. At one point, Mark asked her if she remembered making a video. They checked both their phones and there was a video and photo on her phone that she deleted. Then she never saw them again and believed them to be gone. According to her, they even avoided each other for the next couple of months because of their awkwardness, and nothing else happened. I'd been watching her while she spoke. She kept eye contact while speaking, seemed tense but nothing unexpected. All in all, I saw no reason not to believe her. The handcuffs and all were joke birthday gifts from her girlfriends. It just happened to be there when they went to the room, and they thought it would be fun to open the set. We only talked about this yesterday, and at the time I had other more pressing questions. As for not telling me in the first place, when she started dating her ex, Mark was out of the country, so she never mentioned that happening to her. When Mark came back, her ex was already showing signs of being jealous and controlling, without much reason. So, she decided not to throw gasoline onto the fire. Mark started dating a girl and mentioned that they'd been together once a long time ago, because she asked. His girlfriend told her ex-boyfriend in the middle of a group outing, and her ex exploded. She ended up breaking up with him, and things went a bit out of control to the verge of harassment and stalking. Mark's relationship imploded sometime later because the girl saw her breaking up with her ex as proof that she had feelings for him and became a bit crazy. She never told me because, in the beginning, she wasn't sure how I would react and was afraid I would go down her ex's path. By the time she figured I wouldn't go that path, it had been so long that she just let it go. She apologized and admitted that was a bad call on her part and should have told me, and let me decide how comfortable I was with it. When she spoke about her ex being abusive, I gently asked if he was the reason for her issue with being held by the wrists. He wasn't. He was verbally and psychologically abusive but was never physical. It was someone else after she broke up with her ex, someone that belonged to their friend group. Apparently, he had a secret crush on her. He was drunk at a party. They were alone on a small balcony, and her friends owned him when he proposed. He got close. She placed her hands on his chest to try and stop him, and he held her by the wrists, pinning her against the wall. One of her friends saw it through the window and helped. The guy was cut off by the friend group, and the last time she heard, he left to work somewhere else. Still, she was aware that if they were alone, it might have been a lot worse. When I did it to her, it was just a response to the memory. Also, this actually explains some behaviors of hers when we started dating. She looked like she needed time to make sure she was comfortable to be alone with me. Now I know why. After this I was drained. Well, I guess anyone that actually read this far will be as well. I went silent for a good while, just replaying everything. She came to me, held my hands, and apologized again. Said she couldn't make what I saw disappear, but it was really in the past, and she just needed me to tell her what else she could do to make things easier for me. Honestly, at that point, my brain was shot. Then she did something that caught me completely off guard. She called Mark on the phone, placed him on loudspeaker while motioning me to be quiet, and asked him if he could speak or was close to his girlfriend. His reply was to me, telling me he said, "That is an odd thing to ask. I'm alone. Is something wrong?" She told him that I'd seen the video. Basically, the entirety of the conversation confirmed everything she told me. I didn't say anything, so he didn't know I was listening. After freaking out, "I saw you delete that crap." He referred to it as a one-time thing, and a drunk hookup that keeps coming back to haunt us. He was also worried that I would tell his girlfriend, like my crazy ex. After all this, she asked me if I needed space, but I told her I wanted her near. If she didn't want to be with me in bed, I could sleep in my study. But she wanted to be close as well. We spent yesterday together. Didn't go to the party as it was planned, talked, and just kept each other close. She and Mark will take a break on their friendship. He told his girlfriend, which took it better than me, but they decided some distance is better at this point. My girlfriend also offered to only go out with the group with me present, regardless of Mark being there or not. Other than that, I just asked her to give me some time and to not try to initiate sex for now. I want to be completely clear-minded and release the stress that built up before that. This is it. It's going to take some time, but I feel like I have a grand under my feet, so I'm optimistic. I think that now, after talking it out, I just need a bit of time to let it settle. One comment says, if it keeps coming back to haunt them, they should break off their friendship for good, instead of taking breaks. Op replies, I'm going to reply here for visibility, as you show on the top, to clear up a few things. I'm looking through the replies here, and my God, first, the keeps coming back to haunt them mark was made after he asked her if I'd broken up with her, and she replied that no, but I was shaken by it. If you read the post, you know that last time it ended her relationship. Second, that taking breaks thing. Not exactly sure what breaks you mean, but if I can hazard to guess, they avoided each other for a couple of months because they felt awkward around each other after that. They've been friends until now. There were no breaks, and for now, no contact situation. I say for now because I might get to the point that I simply accept that this is all in the past and choose to trust my girlfriend. Besides me telling no contact. If she wants to cheat, she'll find a way. Third, she gave me her phone that night without me asking. I checked their conversations. They message from time to time, but there's no photos exchange, no flirty emojis, no messages at weird hours, nothing at all that would raise any doubts. And yes, I checked for deleted chats and other RS. Fourth, I don't know how the video was there on both their words. It was deleted less than 24 hours after the fact. Yesterday, she asked me to check all her devices because she wanted to make sure it was gone. Her phone, tablet, and laptop didn't have anything. I checked her cloud services associated with the devices, and there was nothing there as well. Both her external hard drive, which she has to keep 2 copies of her data, had that same folder. The only way it got there was through direct copy from the laptop HD into the external hard drive. Given the fact that she's just been throwing things there, it is quite possible she copied it without realizing what it was. Yes, she messed up when she didn't tell me they got together that time. No, I'm not okay with that. Hence the need for us to work through it. But she didn't cheat on me. There is absolutely zero evidence of emotional cheating, and I don't find the omission of that fact enough to break up. Right or wrong, it is my choice to move forward, and the consequences of me being wrong will be mine to bear. I'm okay with my decision. I didn't put the update up to get advice, just to update those in my circle who were curious after my first post. I'll be moving on whether it's with her or not. Time will tell as it always does. Alrighty, folks, and that's the end of that story. I wonder if anyone's got any ideas about how the video could still exist after they supposedly deleted it. My guess is it was automatically saved in multiple places on the phone, and then when she synced her phone on her computer or laptop or whatever, it copied them over and kept the file for whatever reason. I don't know. Let me know your theories in the comments. Anyway, we're gonna move on to another story. Alright, now we're over on M. Hall. This one was written by user The Royal Glow, and it's titled, Am I the A-hole for wanting to disinvite my fiancé's childhood girl best friend from attending our wedding for drunkenly confessing her love for him at my bachelorette party? I, 23, female, and my fiancé, Elijah, 28, are due to get married at the end of next month. At our destination wedding, last night was my bachelorette party, and I invited my closest family and friends, along with a few of my fiancé's family and his friend Key, 27, female. For some backstory, I and my fiancé met when I was 19 years old. We met. Both of our fathers are business partners and have been friends since I was in high school. One night, his family invited mine over for a party being held at their home, and that was the first time we met. I was attracted to him, but I knew he was older, so I didn't believe I had a chance. As the night progressed, he was hanging outside in his backyard alone, smoking, and my sister dared me to go talk to him. So I did, and a year later we began a relationship. My fiancé and Carrie have been best friends since they were kids, and their families are very close. She's always been extremely nice towards me and wanted to be best friends from the first time we met. I found it a bit odd, only because she barely knew me, but I didn't think much of it because she'd been dating my fiancé's best friend, Antonio, 28. We didn't become best friends because I already have a close friend group and I don't trust easily. But she's always been cool and never crossed any boundaries. Last summer, my fiancé proposed to me on a trip to Bile. When the announcement was made, everyone sent their congratulatory praises to us, but Key sent a text the next day to my fiancé, only not our friend group chat, saying she was happy for him. She was a bit standoffish to me since then, but again, I never paid attention really because I have my own friends in life. About 6 months ago, Antonio and KY broke up but never really stated the reason why. Just that they want to go back to being friends and be happy with other people. Fast forward to last night, my bachelorette was in a suite at a popular hotel here in Miami, where I live, planned by my older sister and Eli's sister, Ava, 26. The night was amazing, and I truly had the time of my life. We all were getting wasted, and I decided to go to the bathroom. When I got closer, I heard voices and whimpering, like someone was crying. It was then I heard Kami telling Ava that this should be her, and that she doesn't understand why he would want to be with someone like me when it was always supposed to be them two together, that she always loved him. I sobered the hell up instantly. I might have to do a part 2, but guys, tell me, would I be able to disinvite her from my wedding when it's a month away? Oh, this is tricky. Let's go to the comments, take a breath, and think for a moment. Don't you need to decide laterally to not invite her, or you'll drive a wedge between you and your fiancé? Talk to his sister first, confirm what you heard, and see how she plays it off. Talk to your fiancé, tell him what you overheard, and ask him to ask his sister to have confirmation. Then go from there as a whole, not the a-hole. But you have to talk to your fiancé, tell him exactly what you heard, and make sure to emphasize that you didn't have any problem whatsoever with her or their friendship. However, now that you know her feelings are not the same as a friend, you need to tell him to have boundaries with her. You don't feel comfortable with her being at the wedding when all this time she didn't want to be a supportive friend but instead the bride. This is certainly an awkward and difficult situation. I think you should speak to your fiancé about it and go from there. If she can't be an actual friend and supportive of you both, then she should remove herself from the situation. If she's not over him or is having issues of jealousy, she is definitely not someone you'd want being a distraction at your wedding. You need to talk to your fiancé. Their friendship needs to end once it's out there like that. There is no coming back from this. The two of you need to be on the same page or hold off the wedding. Do not marry him if he won't end his friendship with someone who confessed to his sister that she's in love with him. She told her because she wants her to tell him and for him to choose her. That's not okay. He needs to be the one to invite her, not the a-hole. OB updates 2 days later. Wow. Thank you to everyone who's given me advice and reached out to me in my messages. You guys are amazing. Before I get into this update, Reddit hero, count your freaking days. I was minding my business scrolling down and saw my story LOL. I commented but immediately deleted because I didn't want to be found. My question is, why couldn't you all wait until I at least updated before taking my story to another platform? Lol. For some clarification, I referred to KI as my fiance's best friend because I didn't know what else to call her, maybe childhood friend, I don't know. But they never went out of their way to call each other that. It's just how I see them. Okay, now for the update. After I heard what was said, the old me started to revert back and I almost caused a scene. But I knew, with my siblings, cousins, and friends all being there, it would get out of control, and I still wanted to enjoy my night. I did, however, continue to listen. Some of you were wondering what AA had to say about all of this. After AA was able to calm CI down, she explained to her that this was not the time or place, and that Elijah would never forgive her if she ruined my bachelorette party. She also told her that she thinks that she should leave and get herself together. I was about to walk in, now at the same time they were walking out. I acted as if I didn't hear anything and asked if everything was okay. He just wiped her face, looking down, stating that she wasn't feeling well and that she might have to cut the night short. I honestly didn't fight her on it and even walked her ass to the door. Because after she left, I pulled over to the side, telling her that I'd heard everything. She apologized that I heard it and said that she would reach out to Eli to handle it. But I said no. Some of you also wanted to know why Key said it should have been her. Did her and my ex have something going on before? I knew they hadn't, but I needed to be sure, so I asked if they'd ever been together or dated. In response, AA said not that she was aware of, only that their moms would always joke around when they were teens, saying that they could finally be related once Eli and Cammie got married. She said that never happened because Eli was never into her. Cammie is a gorgeous girl, but my fiancé does have a certain type, and it's not her. Respectfully, I wanted to ask more questions, but I thought I'd wait until I'd spoken with my fiancé for further answers. After that, I continued the party and even spoke with Lee quickly before bed. I posted the next day after I'd gotten home. Before I did anything drastic, my fiancé came home later that evening. Once he settled in and relaxed, I told him everything that happened. To say that he was irate is taking it lightly. He was absolutely furious. I asked if there was ever anything between them that I was never told about. I had asked if they had ever been intimate and if she'd ever confessed her love for him. Before he made it clear that there has never been anything but a friend's relationship in his eyes, he said that they'd never had sex before but did kiss once back in high school, playing bottle games with alcohol. But it was in a group and everyone kissed multiple people, including Antonio. He said that she has never confessed her love for him and is confused because he's the one that played a role in Antonio and her dating. He wanted to call her right then and there, but I told him to calm down first because being upset would only make things worse. I want to say that my fiancé isn't mad that I heard it or is trying to hide anything. He's upset because he feels hurt and betrayed that she would do this to him, and at my party when we were all there to support me. My fiancé can get really protective of me at times. He doesn't like to hear anything negative. I did express to him that I feel uncomfortable with her going to our wedding now. I want people at our wedding who are genuinely happy and supportive of us. Tonight, he texted her saying that he needs to speak with her. She replied saying she'll let him know when she's home, so we'll see how tonight's conversation goes. He also invited Antonio over for dinner, and we'll speak to him about what's going on because things feel off. A lot of you were also questioning hers and Antonio's relationship and if she used him to make Eli jealous. So, we'll all be present when the conversation does happen to see what she has to say for herself. Since Thanksgiving is in a few days, I'll update you guys on how the conversation goes and if anything new comes to light. Just give me some time to get through this holiday. Also, I have a wedding dress fitting tomorrow. I'm so excited. I might make a collage and show you guys my reference photos. Happy holidays. One comment says, whatever happens, don't let it happen, and just be careful. This friend situation hurts the most beautiful moment of your life. You and your fiancé came from a long journey to get to this point. So enjoy and don't let her steal this from you. Op says, exactly. This is a happy moment for me and him. I will definitely enjoy. Okay, some new updates. 13 days later, I'm pasting the edit from my previous update in case you guys didn't see it. Hey guys. Thank you so much for all the love and supportive messages and DMs. I didn't mean to keep you guys waiting this long for an update. My younger brother, 16, was in a car accident Thanksgiving night where he was injured. Thankfully, he is okay with just a sprained wrist and a concussion. The other driver, however, passed away as he was speeding. This has been a lot to digest, but things seem to be calming down now. I will have an update for you guys by the morning. Bear with me, there's a lot to update you guys on, so it will be a brand new post. It's actually Monday evening now, but let's get into this long update. Please excuse any typers. So that night, we ended up inviting Antonio over and basically told him everything that happened up to that point. He actually wasn't shocked at all by the news and stated that one of the main reasons why they broke up was because he felt like Carrie pulled away after hearing about the engagement. He never said anything because he didn't want to cause any issues between my fiancé and I. My husband said she did become distant as well, but of course we have our own lives. Would have been planning for it, so it honestly wasn't high on his priority list that would have made him address it then. Well, of course now we know why. So he wanted to address it to her now. About 30 minutes later, Key texted Eli that she was home and would call when she was settled. In fact, when she did call, before she could even say hello, my fiancé started asking her why she thought it was okay to go to my bachelorette party and say that she loves him, and that he should be with her instead of me. He asked her why she would ever think it's okay to bring this up to his sister and get her involved. She was taken aback and asked what he was talking about, which ticked him off. He told her that I heard what she told AA in the bathroom, and that she was out of line to even suggest that they ever had anything more than a family friendship. She said she couldn't help how she feels, and that being at my bachelorette party made it real for her. She just needed to get it off her chest and thought she could trust Ava. He asked her why, if all this time she had feelings for him, would she be with Antonio when he set them up? He said she thought that things wouldn't get serious between them and that eventually he would come around. She added that she would give hints, but he would never reciprocate. He told her that although they've had a long friendship, this was something that he couldn't look past. He informed her that she is no longer invited to the wedding. He also told her that he would assist her in any returns or refunds that she would need for any money spent so far. Cammy was upset and said that she didn't mean for me to hear what she said and that she was never going to make any problems for us. He said it didn't matter that we were only inviting people to the wedding who love and support our relationship. He added that her actions showed that she didn't. Cammy then started talking crap about me, saying that I think that I'm all that and that I believe I'm better than her. Eli cut her off, saying that I don't think that I'm all of that, but if she believes that I'm better than her, then she should evaluate her own insecurities and work on that. He then hung up. Antonio and I were so shocked that all we could honestly do was laugh. She clearly has always felt this way about me but was faking nice to my face. I don't even know why she would think those things about me, as she's older than me and more successful. I'm still beginning my career and not even where I want to be to even believe I'm better than anyone. I'm just living my life and going with the flow. After the phone call, we all just discussed what happened, ate, and then Antonio left. He really didn't have any feelings towards the issue because, now, he's seeing someone else and has moved on from the situation, stating that she needs help. The next day was the day before Thanksgiving, and since my family was hosting Thanksgiving dinner, Eli's parents had a small gathering at their home for their immediate family and friends. My fiancé and I were invited, including his sister, her husband, Key, and her family. I really didn't know what to expect when getting ready to go there because I knew it would be awkward seeing Key in person after the argument the night before. My fiancé didn't say anything, but I could tell he was still upset about everything. When we got to the party, everyone was already pretty much there, except for a few people. Before we even sat down or spoke to everyone, Eli told his family that he had something to say. Key was sitting off to the side with her parents and brother, not wanting to engage. He began saying that since it's close to the wedding, he might as well announce to everyone that if they do not love and support us getting married, then they would be permanently disinvited from the wedding. His mom asked where this was coming from, and everyone was nervously looking around. He told her that apparently, there are people in this house that have an issue with him being engaged, and those people won't be allowed to attend. I'm guessing Key had already told her parents what happened, because then her mom started to speak. She said that she thought it was tasteless to disinvite her daughter from the wedding after how long they'd been close. Eli responded, saying that he thought it was tasteless for her daughter to go to his fiancée's bachelorette party, saying that it should have been hers at this point. Everyone was shocked, including me, because I had no idea he was going to address it to his family. They started to argue back and forth, with A's dad getting involved. Eli was having none of it and said that none of them would be invited, except for Kay's brother, who wasn't agreeing with what his sister had done. Cam's family ended up leaving shortly after the confrontation. Eli's mom was shocked and hurt about everything that happened but supported us. She said she would speak with her friend and that she felt it was all inappropriate. I apologized to her and Eli's dad. I said that I hated that this happened, and causing a rift. She and AA told me I have nothing to be sorry about. They assured me that they were all on our side. Key ended up sending both Eli and AA very long, nasty messages about how they weren't loyal to her, and that I was purposely causing a divide between the two because I wanted to kick her out of the family and sabotage their relationship. This woman is delusional, so my fiancé just blocked her. She then texted me, saying that me and Eli's relationship wouldn't last very long if I became jealous of every woman important in his life. I blocked her as well. I may be a lot of things, but jealous isn't one of them. I'm very happy and very secure in my relationship. Honestly, seeing how far he's willing to go to make sure that my day is perfect. His words, not mine, just solidified to me more than ever that I'm marrying the right person. Thanksgiving was amazing, and we had a good time with the family. Sadly, that night is when my brother got into his car accident, so we had to deal with that. Sorry I kept you guys waiting so long. Everything is now starting to calm down, and now me and my fiancé can relax until next week. Then we leave for Como, Italy, where the wedding will be. I may update you guys in the future, but for now this will be the final update. I'm willing to answer any other questions you guys may have for me in the comments. One commenter says this seemed like an overreaction, given that Key was already distancing herself and never said anything. I think you and your fiancé are full of yourselves, to be honest. Like, the speech was unnecessary. Telling others was unnecessary. Yes, you and your fiancé escalated things, and you talked like you should have beat her or something when you dropped on a private conversation. She admitted she was jealous and struggling. She didn't do anything to you anyways. You two drama queens. You and your fiancé deserve each other, weirdos. I hope you replies. There's more to the story that I left out. I didn't go into detail on what she put in the long messages she sent my fiancé and his sister, but this is not an overreaction. This girl has been smiling in my face, acting like my friend, wanting to be best friends, knowing the whole time she had feelings for my fiancé. Yes, maybe my fiancé could have handled it a little better. I've already spoken to him about it, but he won't apologize for what he said. He meant every last word. I am 100% backed by my fiancé and how he chose to handle her and her parents. I don't want anyone around me who's secretly jealous of me. Those people are dangerous and cannot be trusted. I may be young, but I have sisters and close friends around me who I trust and have been in my life for over 10 years. I don't need nor do I want fake love and support celebrating with me on my wedding day. I didn't center myself at all. I didn't know how my fiancé was going to take the news. He's normally the calm and thoughtful one. I think he really just felt blindsided and thought I would leave him, so he just wanted to set things straight before any other problems. The wedding is slowly approaching, and we're both just super anxious, trying to take in as many happy moments that we can. Bottom of form, another comment says, yes, she always gave me the pick-me vibes. She always hung out with just guys. Her only real girlfriend was Ava. It always felt like she was trying too hard whenever she came around. All the girls. Judging by Kay's mother's first reaction to blame your fiancé for the disinvitation, it's not hard to find the source of Kay's behavior. Those two probably have the same thought process too. I would advise security for your wedding, just to avoid some further avoidable dramas. Never think too highly of some people. Also, I'm glad that your brother is okay. Like the other had said, keep an eye on him because no one knows when the trauma will surface. Good luck on everything. Now, for a final update, the next day addressing the comments. I'm here to clear some things up. 1. My fiancé did not address the issue at Thanksgiving dinner the night before Thanksgiving. His parents had a small get-together at their home that included me, my fiancé's husband, Cammie's brother and parents, and there was also another couple on the way who were friends of my in-laws. When we arrived, the couple hadn't arrived yet, so the confrontation did not happen in front of them. Only our two families were present. 2. I've already spoken with my husband regarding his actions that night and told him I felt like things could have been handled a lot more privately. Once he was able to calm down about the whole situation, he also agreed. I just want to say that this is not something that my fiancé does all the time. He's sweet, kind, caring, and loving. So seeing people call him aggressive for standing up for me is baffling. 3. This morning I expressed to my fiancé that I think he should apologize. He called KY this morning, telling her that although he does not regret anything he said, he could have handled the situation maturely. The conversation went absolutely nowhere because all she was trying to do was get him to change his mind, telling him that it's not too late to cancel the wedding. Honestly, I'm over it, guys. It's starting to drain on my happiness. 4. Ava has also apologized to Carrie and expressed to her that she had no idea she was going to be put on blast at dinner. I don't know and do not care what happens with their friendship from here. I won't be going out of my way to be involved. 5. Disrespectfully, for those of you who believe that I'm the mean girl and that I like drama, kindly kiss my ass. Someone in the comments told me I won and that I got the man. WTF is this? Are you truly okay? My fiancé isn't the prize. I'll never fight over a man and go out of my way to be mean to another woman over a man. Actually, I liked her, which is why she was even invited to my bachelorette party in the first place. No, we weren't super close. No, she wasn't a bridesmaid, but she was cool enough to celebrate with me. She always wanted to be the center when it came to the boys or getting attention, not me. Before this, there hasn't really been any drama. Drama actually causes me high anxiety, and it sprinkles to depression. 6. In case some of you didn't realize, everyone's name is changed for the sake of concealing your identities. And 7. Thank you guys for all the love and supportive messages to my little brother. He's doing okay, guys, and he's being watched carefully, as we are aware that some injuries can show up after the accident. For my mental health, I think this will be my last update. I thought I would update you guys for the wedding, but these mean comments take away the fun. I truly appreciate everyone else who has left kind messages for me. You guys have truly put a smile on my face.